Have you ever felt like the world is against you? Like every time you take a step forward, something or someone is there to push you 2 steps back. You start with excitement, with dreams so big they keep you awake at night, but then somewhere along the way, doubt creeps in. It doesn't come from nowhere, it comes from the voices around you, from past failures, from the expectations that tell you to be realistic. You hear it so much that you start believing it. You begin to question yourself, hesitate, and before you know it, doubt has stolen opportunities that should have been yours. That stops today. Today you take back your power. Doubt is not the truth, it's an illusion, a test designed to see if you'll push through or stay stuck. This isn't just about motivation, this is about rewiring your mind to turn every doubt into fuel, every setback into a stepping stone, and every moment of hesitation into a moment of action. By the end of this, you won't just resist doubt, you'll use it to become stronger, faster, and more unstoppable than ever before. Stay with me, because this isn't talk, this is your blueprint for breaking free. Doubt was never yours to begin with. It was given to you, planted in your mind like a seed, and over time it took root. The people around you, the world you grew up in, the mistakes you've made, they all shape what you believe about yourself. But here's the question, if doubt isn't truly yours, why do you carry it like it belongs to you? Look at any child. They don't question whether they can learn to walk or talk. They fall, they get back up, and they try again. They don't doubt their ability, they just keep going. So where did that change for you? Somewhere along the way, someone told you to be careful. Someone told you to stop dreaming so big. Someone made you feel like you weren't enough. And instead of questioning them, you started questioning yourself. Doubt doesn't exist because you're weak. It exists because others see your strength. And that scares them. Some people can't handle seeing you rise, so they try to keep you down. Others, without even realizing it, pass their own fears onto you. But here's the truth. Doubt is not reality. It's a test. And today you stop failing that test. Some people feel threatened by your potential. They see what you're capable of, and instead of being inspired, they try to bring you down. It's not because you're doing something wrong, it's because they're afraid of what you might become. It's called the crab mentality. When one crab tries to climb out of a bucket, the others pull it back down. Not because they hate that crab, not because they want it to suffer, but because they don't know how to climb out themselves. People do the same thing. The moment you start growing, breaking out of your limits and chasing something bigger, there will always be someone trying to drag you back. Not everyone is rooting for you, and that's okay. You don't need their approval to succeed. The only difference between those who make it and those who don't is this: some believe the lies and others break free. The ones who break free are the ones who learn to ignore the noise and trust themselves. Start paying attention to the voices you listen to. If someone constantly feeds your doubt, distance yourself. If someone lifts you up, keep them close. The people you surround yourself with either weaken you or strengthen you. Choose wisely. Doubt isn't something to fear, it's something to use. Every great success story starts with someone being told, you can't. The difference between the people who make it and the people who don't. Some accept the doubt, others turn it into fire. Think about every legend you've ever heard of. The athletes, the innovators, the visionaries, at some point every single one of them was doubted. They were told they weren't good enough, smart enough, or talented enough. But instead of letting that stop them, they let it fuel them. Doubt is just energy. You decide what to do with it. You can let it weaken you, or you can let it push you forward. Every time someone says you can't, let that be the reason why you must. Every time someone doubts you, take it as proof that you're on the right path. The best response to doubt isn't words, it's action. Let your results speak so loudly that they have no choice but to believe. Write it down. Every negative thing someone has ever said about you. Every time you were told you weren't good enough. Next to each one, write down how you'll prove them wrong. Not through arguments, not through explanations, through action. Confidence isn't arrogance, it's certainty. It's knowing that no matter what happens, you will find a way. The reason you don't believe in yourself isn't because you're not capable. It's because you've been measuring your future by your past failures. How many times will you let your past dictate your future before you finally break free? You are not who you used to be. Every day you're growing. Every day you're learning. If you keep defining yourself by your past, you'll never step into your future. Start rewiring your mind. Replace every doubt with a stronger belief. Surround yourself with voices that remind you of your strength. Keep a record of your wins, no matter how small. Every success, every step forward is proof that you are capable. No one will believe in you more than you believe in yourself. So make that belief unshakable. Confidence is built through action, not just words. You can think about change, talk about change, or you can take action. Every step forward kills doubt. Stop waiting to feel ready. You will never feel ready. The only way to get rid of doubt is to take action before your mind has a chance to argue. The longer you hesitate, the stronger doubt becomes. The faster you move, the faster it disappears. Start with small wins. Build momentum. Keep showing up, even when you don't feel like it. Doubt is like fog. It only disappears when you start moving through it. This is your final test. Are you going to take action or stay trapped in doubt? No one is coming to save you. It's on you to rewrite your story. 5 years from now, will you regret letting doubt win? Will you wish you had started today? They said you couldn't. Prove them wrong. They doubted you. Show them who you are. They wanted you to fail. Succeed anyway. Commit today. Leave doubt behind. Step into your power. Doubt is not something you were born with, it's something you were taught. When you were a child, you believed anything was possible. You never second-guessed whether you could learn to walk, talk, or explore the world around you. You simply tried. You fell, you got back up, and you tried again. Doubt didn't exist. So what changed? Who told you to question your own worth? Somewhere along the way, someone planted a seed of doubt in your mind. Maybe it was a teacher who told you to be more realistic. Maybe it was a parent who discouraged your dreams out of fear. Maybe it was the world telling you that success is only for a select few. That seed took root. Over time, it grew into hesitation, fear, and a belief that you weren't enough. But here's the truth. If doubt was given to you, that means you can reject it. It doesn't belong to you. It was never yours to begin with. And today you decide to uproot it. From the moment we enter the world, we are shaped by invisible forces. We're told to follow the rules, to fit in, to not reach too high. The world conditions us to play small before we even understand what's happening. Schools reward obedience, not boldness. Society pushes the idea that security is better than risk. Media constantly shows us people who have made it, while quietly implying that we never will. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they never truly try. They never step outside of the boundaries they were given. They live by rules that were designed to keep them ordinary, and the system thrives on that. The world benefits when you doubt yourself because doubtful people don't challenge the status quo. They don't take risks. They don't build, create, or push boundaries. But what happens when you refuse? What happens when you stop believing in limits and start believing in yourself? The moment you do that, everything changes. The world no longer controls you. You control yourself. And that's the key to breaking free. Everyone has failed at something, but for some reason, when it happens to you, doubt creeps in. You start to believe that failure isn't just an event, it's proof that you're not capable. But let's look at it differently. If a toddler fell while learning to walk, would you tell them to stop trying? Would you say you failed, so maybe walking just isn't for you? Of course not. So why do we apply that logic to everything else? Why do we let failure convince us that we should stop? Every successful person has faced failure. The difference is that they didn't let it define them. They used it. They saw failure for what it was, a lesson, not a prophecy. Every setback gave them knowledge. Every mistake made them stronger. The only way failure can stop you is if you refuse to get back up. Your past is not a prediction of your future. It's a lesson. Learn from it, but don't live in it. Look at the people around you. Are they pushing you forward or are they holding you back? Some people, without even realizing it, project their fears onto you. They tell you to be cautious, to lower your expectations, to take the safe route, not because they want to hurt you, but because they never had the courage to chase their own dreams. Doubt is contagious. If you surround yourself with people who are afraid to grow, you will shrink. If you constantly hear voices telling you that you can't, you will start to believe it. Even those closest to you, friends, family, mentors, might unknowingly limit you. Not everyone in your life wants to see you win. Some people are comfortable when you stay at their level. When you start rising, it forces them to question why they aren't. That's why when you start chasing something bigger, some people will try to pull you back. Not because they hate you, but because they fear what your success will mean for them. Their doubts are not your destiny. Their fears are not your future. You don't have to inherit their limitations. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow, who inspire you to aim higher, who believe in you even when you struggle to believe in yourself. Because in the end, the voices you listen to will shape the life you build. Choose wisely. Most of your doubts didn't start with you. They were placed there by others. As a child, you didn't question whether you could learn to walk or talk. You simply tried, failed, and kept going. But somewhere along the way, doubt crept in. It came from voices around you, parents, teachers, friends, even society telling you what you could and couldn't do. Over time, those voices became your own. How much of your self-doubt is actually yours? And how much have you inherited from others? People project their fears onto you without realizing it. Maybe someone told you to play it safe because they were afraid of failing. Maybe someone told you that success wasn't for people like you because they never had the courage to try. Their fears became your limits. Their doubts became your reality. The first step to breaking free is recognizing which thoughts belong to you and rejecting the ones that don't. If the doubt didn't come from you, why are you carrying it like it's yours? You are not responsible for other people's fears. You are responsible for what you do next. When one crab tries to climb out of a bucket, the others pull it back down. Not because they hate it, but because they don't know how to escape themselves. people do the same thing. The moment you start rising, chasing something bigger, or breaking free from the limits placed on you, someone will try to hold you back. People resist change because it forces them to confront their own insecurities. When you grow, it reminds them that they've stayed the same. When you break free, it makes them question why they never tried. And instead of facing that discomfort, they try to drag you back down. Their fear is not your problem. Their doubt is not your burden to carry. If someone is trying to hold you back, it's because they're afraid of being left behind. You do not exist to make others comfortable. You do not have to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's small world. Not all criticism is bad, but you have to know the difference between constructive feedback and destructive doubt. Some advice is meant to help you grow. Other advice is meant to keep you stuck. If you don't filter what you allow into your mind, you'll absorb every fear, every insecurity, every limitation that doesn't belong to you. Develop an unshakable filter, one that lets in wisdom but blocks out insecurity. When someone gives you advice, ask yourself, is this coming from experience or from fear? Are they speaking from a place of growth or from a place of limitation? Only take advice from people who have built what you want to build. If you wouldn't take financial advice from someone who's broke, why take life advice from someone who's afraid to live? The voices you listen to will shape the life you build. Choose wisely. Who you surround yourself with shapes what you believe about yourself. If you are always around people who doubt themselves, who settle for less, who never take risks, you will start to believe that's normal. But when you surround yourself with people who believe in possibilities, in growth, in pushing beyond limits, you will start to see that for yourself. The quickest way to silence doubt is to drown it out with voices that empower you. Find people who challenge you to be better. Find people who push you forward instead of holding you back. The people around you will either feed your confidence or feed your doubt. Who are you listening to? Most people see doubt as a roadblock, something that stands in the way. But what if doubt wasn't meant to stop you? What if it was meant to push you forward? Doubt isn't your enemy, it's energy, and you decide how to use it. Doubt is not here to stop you, it's here to challenge you. When it whispers, you can't, that's not a reason to quit. That's your signal to push harder, to go further, to prove that voice wrong. Because here's the truth. Doubt doesn't come when you're standing still. It comes when you're about to do something that matters. It shows up when you're stepping into a new level, a bigger opportunity, a higher version of yourself. So ask yourself this, what if doubt wasn't a warning sign, but a signpost leading you to your biggest breakthroughs? What if every time you heard it, instead of pulling back, you leaned in? The people who do that, they're the ones who break through. They're the ones who win. Every successful person you admire was once told they couldn't do it. Someone somewhere looked at them and said, "You're not good enough. You don't have what it takes. You should quit." But instead of listening, they kept going. Look at the greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders in history. Almost every one of them was underestimated, told they weren't talented enough, told they should give up. And that doubt, it became their fuel. They used it. They took every no, every rejection, every doubter and turned it into fire. The only difference between them and you, they refused to let doubt win. They refused to let someone else's opinion define their future. Doubt is like fire. It can either burn you down or forge you into steel. The choice is yours. Rejection isn't failure, it's redirection. Every time someone doubts you, you have two choices: let it stop you or let it push you forward. The people who succeed are the ones who take doubt and turn it into motivation. Doubters aren't obstacles, they're fuel stations. The louder they doubt, the harder you push. The more they say you can't, the more reasons you have to prove them wrong. Every you can't is another reason why you must, not to prove them wrong, but to prove yourself right. To show yourself that their doubts were never the truth, they were just noise. Write it down. Every negative thing someone has ever said about you. Every time someone told you that you weren't enough. Next to each one, write how you will prove them wrong. Not with words, not with arguments, but with action. Because that's how you silence doubt. Not by debating it, not by running from it, but by proving every single day that you were never the person they thought you were. Doubt isn't there to stop you, it's there to see if you're strong enough to push through. And the moment you decide to use it instead of fear it, everything changes. Confidence isn't about thinking you're better than others. It's about knowing you're capable. Too many people confuse self-belief with arrogance, but they are not the same. Arrogance is loud. It's about trying to prove something to others. But real confidence, it's quiet. It's steady. It doesn't need to be announced, because it shows in actions, not words. The strongest people in the world aren't the loudest, they're the most certain. They don't waste time convincing others of their worth. They know who they are. They trust in their ability to figure things out, even when things get hard. They don't wait for approval, and they don't shrink when challenged. The real difference. Arrogance talks about it. Confidence proves it. If you spend more time convincing people you're capable than actually doing the work, that's not confidence. That's insecurity in disguise. True belief is shown through effort, through growth, through refusing to back down when doubt creeps in. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. You can wait for people to cheer you on, but what happens when no one does? Most people are waiting for someone else to tell them they're good enough. They wait for approval, permission, validation. But the truth is, if you don't give that to yourself, no one else's words will ever be enough. Stop asking for permission to believe in yourself. Stop waiting for the world to confirm what you already know deep down. You are capable of more. You don't need someone to tell you it's okay to go after what you want. You don't need the approval of people who never had the courage to chase their own dreams. Every day, remind yourself why you are worthy of success. Say it out loud, write it down, make it clear. Because the moment you stop questioning yourself and start backing yourself, everything changes. Confidence is built like a muscle. It requires daily reps. You don't get strong by lifting weights once. You don't build belief by thinking positive one time. It's a daily process, it's a habit. Start your day with powerful affirmations, not empty words, but truths that remind you of your strength. Tell yourself, I am capable, I will figure this out. I am not my past. Keep a proof journal of past wins, no matter how small. Every single success, every single challenge you've overcome, write it down. Because when doubt creeps in, you need evidence. If you constantly remind yourself of your failures, why not do the same with your wins? Cut out negative self-talk immediately. Your mind listens to everything you say. If you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, you will believe it. If you constantly focus on what's wrong, that will become your reality. But the opposite is also true. Speak power into your life, and power will grow. Your words shape your reality. What you say about yourself becomes true. If you constantly tell yourself you're struggling, you will struggle. If you constantly tell yourself you're making progress, you will move forward. Stop saying I'm trying. Start saying I'm doing. Stop saying maybe. Start saying definitely. Stop waiting for confidence to show up. Create it with your words. From this moment forward, you will never speak doubt into your own future. No more tearing yourself down. No more playing small. No more letting old mistakes define who you are. The way you talk about yourself matters. Choose words that push you forward, not hold you back. If you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else? Confidence starts with you. Speak it, act on it, and watch everything change. Confidence isn't built by thinking, it's built by moving. You don't wake up one day suddenly believing in yourself. You don't sit around waiting for the perfect moment when fear disappears. Confidence grows when you take action. When you step forward despite the doubt, despite the fear, despite the uncertainty. The longer you hesitate, the stronger your doubt becomes. Every time you pause to question yourself, that little voice inside gets louder. It tells you to wait, to play it safe, to hold back. And every time you listen, you make it harder to move forward the next time. But the opposite is also true. Every step forward weakens fear and strengthens self-belief. When you act, when you move, when you stop waiting and start doing, something changes inside you. You realize that doubt was never as powerful as you thought. You realize that you don't need more time to think, you need more time to act. The fastest way to kill doubt is to stop standing still. The #1 killer of confidence, overthinking. How many dreams have died because someone waited to feel ready? How many opportunities have been lost because someone stood still trying to make the perfect decision instead of just taking the first step? Overthinking is the enemy of action. The more time you spend analyzing, the more reasons you'll find to hold back. The longer you wait, the more excuses you'll create. Your brain will always find ways to talk you out of taking a risk. That's its job, to keep you safe, to keep you in your comfort zone. But comfort zones don't lead to growth. They don't lead to success. Take action before your brain has a chance to talk you out of it. If you wait until the doubt is gone, you'll be waiting forever. If you wait for fear to disappear, you'll never start. The secret is this: confidence comes after action, not before. Your next move isn't to analyze, it's to execute. The moment you think about doing something, do it. Don't give yourself time to hesitate. Don't give fear a chance to creep in. Move, speak, start. Whatever it is, do it now. Big changes don't come from big moves. They come from small, repeated ones. The people who succeed aren't the ones who make one huge, life-changing decision. They're the ones who show up every day, who take the small steps, who keep moving even when progress feels slow. Your habits are the bricks that build your future. Every action you take, every choice you make is another brick in the foundation of the life you're building. If you lay down the right habits brick by brick, you'll look back one day and realize you've built something unshakable. Momentum is the secret weapon against self-doubt. When you keep moving, doubt has no space to grow. The problem isn't that you're not capable. The problem is that you stop too often. You second guess, you wait, you slow down, and that's when doubt sneaks in. Win today, then win tomorrow. That's how you win for life. Doubt doesn't disappear, you just get stronger than it. Too many people think that confidence is about never feeling doubt, but that's not true. The people who succeed, the people who seem fearless, they feel doubt too. They just don't let it stop them. Every time you feel doubt, do twice as much. When fear tells you to slow down, speed up. When doubt tells you to stop, push harder. The only way to silence the voice of doubt is to drown it out with action. Doubt is like fog, it only disappears when you start moving through it. If you stand still, it surrounds you, suffocates you. But if you walk forward, if you take action, it clears. Step by step, the path becomes visible. Don't wait until you feel ready. Take action now. Because the truth is, you will never feel ready. There will never be a perfect moment. The only time to start is now. The only way to build confidence is by doing. The only way to silence doubt is by proving through action that it was wrong about you. No one has the power to define your limits except you. People will always have opinions. They will tell you what they think you can or cannot do. They will project their fears onto you, their doubts, their insecurities, but at the end of the day, their words mean nothing unless you accept them as truth. Why let someone else's doubts shape your destiny? Think about that. How many dreams have been crushed, not because someone wasn't capable, but because they believed the wrong voices? How many people have settled for less, not because they weren't good enough, but because they let someone else tell them they weren't? Every great success story begins with a decision to take control and move forward. Every person who has ever achieved something great had a moment where they had to shut out the noise, silence the doubters, and trust themselves. It's not about what they believe, it's about what you decide to do. You have to be the one to claim your future, to own your choices, to refuse to let someone else's fears define your limits. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to take control. Fast forward 5 years, what will you wish you had done today? Will you look back and be proud that you took action, that you pushed through doubt, that you refused to settle, or will you regret letting fear hold you back? Regret is heavier than fear. Fear is temporary. It fades the moment you take action. But regret, that lingers, that stays with you. The thought of what if, the realization that you could have done more, could have been more, but you let doubt win. That is a weight you don't want to carry. If you let doubt win now, you'll pay for it later, with wasted potential. There's nothing worse than looking back and knowing you were capable of more, but never took the chance. That's a pain that doesn't go away. The pain of trying and failing is temporary. The pain of never trying lasts forever. They said you couldn't, prove them wrong. They doubted you. Show them who you are. They wanted you to fail. Succeed anyway. Every great achiever was once doubted until they silenced their critics with results. No one believed in them at first. People laughed, dismissed them, told them they were wasting their time. But they didn't argue. They didn't beg for approval. They just got to work. Stop seeking approval. Let your success speak for itself. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone but you. Every time someone says you can't, let that be fuel. Every time someone underestimates you, let that be your drive. The only way to respond to doubt is through action, through results, through becoming so undeniable that no one's words matter anymore. Are you going to let doubt win, or are you going to take your life back? That's the question. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to a decision. No one else can make it for you. No one else can push you forward. Commit today, leave doubt behind. Step into your power. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you want is you.